from about age 3 to 5. Okay, imagine me, 3 to 5 years old. I had a constant companion. It was my stuffed Smokey Bear doll. I didn't care that the character sought to build awareness about preventing forest fires. We called them forest fires then. It's wildfires now, but I didn't care about that. I just knew that when I was scared or lonely or anxious, depressed, I didn't even know what those things were, but sometimes when I was sleepy or maybe when I was just fine, holding Smokey in one hand and sucking my thumb on the other hand brought me comfort. It made me feel better. I went through at least 3 Smokies in those years, and each time I got a new one, it took a little while to get it to feel just right. You know, a new toy just doesn't feel quite right. It had to get all frayed and everything. Nowadays, I don't need Smokey, though nostalgic me does have this vintage one that is every bit like the ones I had as a child. This is not the one I had as a child. All of those are, frayed until they're just non-existent, but eBay is a wonderful thing. You can find those still. And I still have times, though, when I'm scared, lonely, anxious, depressed, sleepy, or sometimes when I'm just fine. And during those times, a hug from my wife, or playing my guitar, or singing out loud, or watching TV, listening to music on an app that plays music, or staring at a computer screen helps me to feel better. Something that I didn't mention there was going to church. And I know I didn't mention it. It isn't the first thing that I think of when I'm not feeling my best. When I'm feeling out of sorts, I don't have this automatic thought of, I need to get myself to church. Anybody have that? I want a hug, a guitar, a song, or something else to distract me from not feeling my best. So do you think that the Spirit can communicate you are not alone in a hug from a loved one, or the music from a guitar, or the melody and harmony in a song, or maybe a moving, funny, or engaging program on television with a familiar news voice on the radio, or in words read and even friendships cultivated through a computer screen, or even with a Smokey Bear? No, you're all going to come up and hold the Smokey Bear after the service, right? It'll be right here. What comforts you? Jesus was saying goodbye, and the disciples were upset. They were confused. They didn't know what was coming next, and Jesus didn't tell them to go to church. He told them to love, and he told them that he would send an advocate, a counselor, a comforter to make them to feel better. It says this, and I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to be with you forever. This is the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive because it neither sees him nor knows him. You know him because he abides with you, and he will be in you. Another advocate. Here's your Greek lesson for today. In Greek, the advocate, parakletos. In Latin, advocatus. The closest Hebrew equivalent is Nahem or Menahem, which is a comforter. And as is usual, in the case that the words don't have enough in English in the translation, what's being communicated in parakletos or paraclete is an English word that we use, is counselor, it's intercessor, it's one who stands beside, it's an advocate, a strengthener, a comforter, a helper. And I know that paraclete sounds like parakeet, but it's a totally different word. Jesus promised this intercessor, counselor, advocate, strengthener, comforter, helper to the disciples Another one would be by their side. They were going to miss Jesus. He had been by their side, but they wouldn't be left alone after he left. I will not leave you orphaned, Jesus says. So a child with a security blanket. Kids have security blankets. Or treasured stuffed animals. I don't know anybody that has a Smokey Bear anymore, but that's what I had. It has the sense of something standing beside them when they feel alone. Kids may not process the idea of losing a parent or being abandoned or anything like that. Some do. But kids do understand, regardless of a feeling of not right. Something's not right. And their security blanket communicates to them on some level, you are not alone. Do you think that the Spirit can communicate you are not alone in a hug from a loved one? Or the music from a guitar? Or the melody or harmony in a song? Or a moving, funny, or engaging program on television? With a familiar news voice on the radio? In words read and even friendships formed through a computer screen? Or even a Smokey Bear? How does the Spirit comfort you? It's more of a question to ponder day and night and day, day and night. Wrong or right? One more thing. Jesus says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. That's at the end there. What happens when we mess up? I could say what happens if we mess up, but what happens when we mess up? Here's a way I think that the first readers would have understood what Jesus said. If you love me, and I know that you love me, you will keep my commandments, and I know that you will because you love me. Jesus wasn't making a request or even reminding the disciples of an expectation. He wasn't making some kind of conditional statements. He was making a promise to them that they wouldn't be alone. That's the context of the whole thing there. What did Jesus know? He knew that the disciples would mess up. He knows that we will mess up. The road would be difficult. That they and we need support, comfort, and help, and someone to stand beside them. Jesus promised that support for them. Jesus promises that for us because we mess up. Our lives and our faith journeys are difficult. We need support and comfort and help and someone to stand beside us. God promises support for us. And through that, then let's support one another. We don't need to be at each other's throats. We don't need to be arguing with each other all of the time. We can find ways through all of the things that we disagree on. When things are at their best, the Paraclete, the Spirit, the Advocate, is a helper. When things are at their worst, the Paraclete is a comforter. When we've done everything right, there's that old joke that is a person says, you know what? God, I have done everything right today. I haven't made any mistakes. I haven't been angry. I haven't cussed at anybody. But I'm just about to get out of bed, so please help me through the rest of the day. And we've done everything right, even if it's only for a moment. The Paraclete is a counselor for us. And when we've completely messed up, and we have completely messed up, the Paraclete is an advocate. God is so good at knowing us. God is so good at continuing to love us. So let's do that too. No matter who we are or where we are on life's journey, let us live out God's call to love. Amen.